Okay, here I am, and it's telling me that I'm live. This is only the second time that I'm doing it using this, so you're going to have to forgive me. Let's see if it works. And I am going to wait until hopefully some people join. Not sure how you're seeing this, if you're seeing this. So let's see. I am only I am only on for maybe 30 seconds so far, and we'll see what happens. And then I'm going to wait for David to join us and just want to talk to you about some current events and just some other life experiences. So let's kind of relax and chat a little bit. Is it telling me anybody's in here? I'm not sure. Oh, the comments. Let me take a look. I've got comments, I think. Okay, I'm going to have to find this. Let's see. Oh, hi. Hi, Mary. Hi. Great to see you. Good. Good. Okay, great. Yeah. Hi. David's going to be on in a minute. It's only the second time I'm using this particular um, platform, so I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work. So bear with me. But I have been really wanting to come on for a very long time. I have created probably at least 10 videos that I have not put up because as I looked at them after I made them, I just felt as if I wasn't being 100% authentic. And those of you who know me know that I am nothing if not authentic. So I was going through kind of a roller coaster ride, and it was hard for me to just be totally upbeat when I wasn't. So, yeah, so that's it. I just got a really sweet note from an old client of mine. Got a nice call today from an agent that I haven't spoken to in a long time, and she had somebody to refer to me, so that was really nice, and it couldn't have come at a better time. I hope all is well with all of you. It's been too long. It sure has. Um, yeah, I am waiting for. Oh, is David here? David, add to stream. David.
Yo, hi.
Hey, there he is. Okay, so this part of it is working. So now we have to see what comes next. I am doing this on my phone. So everything is teeny tiny. So you are going to have to bear with me. Is there anything you want to talk about, David, before we get started?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure because I was going to take my little AirPod thing out of my ear,
Oh,
and
okay.
I wanted to make sure you could hear me okay.
Just let me know, everybody out there, if you can hear David okay, because for me, it's just fine. Uh, Not seeing anything else in the comments right now. I just sort of wanted to start today, David, if you don't have anything specific that you wanted to start with. Wanted to talk a little bit about the trial now, the killing of George Floyd.
Uh, yeah, I will say that I've only had tiny little moments to sort of glance at it in passing here and there. So I can't, as far as the trial itself is concerned, I can't render a really good quality opinion of it. Other than I, I will say I think the fact that they got the trial started, I think, is extraordinary because the most daunting task must have been to try to find, jurors that, you know, somehow qualified for both sides, during that voir dire process, and to be able to find people that they felt good about from both sides of it, because you know I don't know who doesn't have a thought on it, who doesn't have an opinion, who wasn't affected by it, and in one
Yeah.
way or another, if not many ways. So
It was interesting for me that a lot of them apparently were saying that they certainly knew about it, but they hadn't seen the videos or had not really seen much. And that kind of surprised me. But I think for me, I've been watching quite a bit and I've been crying. I really have been crying because I am so astounded at the inhumanity, and I'm astounded by the amount of force used on somebody who was being arrested or questioned or whatever for passing a counterfeit $20 bill. So I have to say to myself, does that mean that the cost of a life is $20? Does that mean that you get a death sentence? And they were saying today the clerk who took the money from him, and he couldn't decide what to do. He wasn't sure what he should do about it because the policy in the store was if you got a counterfeit bill that you did not recognize and take care of, it came out of your tab or you paid for it. And he
Right.
was not going to do it. And then he said at the last minute, he just kept looking at it, and he went to his manager and asked his manager what to do. I cannot imagine what his life has been like the past year, reliving that, because had he done it differently, that man would still be here, you know. Uh,
Yeah.
it's awful.
It's hard to. I think it's hard to talk about it from any angle because I have to imagine that everybody was so swept up in it right from the get go, where it just became a part of us. I mean, there are things that occur in this world that affect groups of people, smaller groups of people, and individuals differently. But every once in a while, we all share something, and uh, and it happens to all of us together. And this is one of those things. And so it's one of those things where all you have to do is mention the trial or mention George Floyd's name, and I have to imagine that it washes over everybody at the same time. Like being on a I've never been on a beach during a tsunami, but that's sort of what it feels like. There are events that occur to all of us, and we just all share in. And it doesn't matter what you were doing or where you were. You just you all share in that moment. It's one of those things. And as far as the trial itself, I I don't know. I mean, there's I have mixed emotions about it being sort of televised and becoming you know I don't know, becoming fodder for every little moment, and every person who was a witness and comes to testify. So I don't know. I have mixed emotions about the trial part of it. But as far as what occurred, uh, there are certainly no words to. There are no words, to explain it. I feel worst for kids that saw it or have seen it, and a lot of things have happened in the past year that I feel as though the I feel as though kids have to be looking at the world and thinking we need to grow up a little bit faster because these adults, they're not doing such a great job, and we need to start taking over a little sooner because we've
Yeah.
got some problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, in answer to your question, Faith View, yes, I have watched, I don't know if it was the whole 20-minute video, but I have seen much of it. And I saw a video today that I had never seen before. And I think they said on the news that it had not been shown before. The reporters were saying that they hadn't seen it before. And watching him in the store and interacting, and they said that he was on drugs, and they said that I, forgive me, but I don't care. I still don't think that means that the man should have been judged and should have suffered, a death warrant for what happened. It was a horrible, horrible thing. And I don't, I think what I'm having the hardest time dealing with is the inhumanity of those police officers who were there, because there were a number of them there. I have to tell you, for me, one of the most poignant moments was the young girl who stood there and videoed for the whole time. She just held her phone and she just kept videoing it. And they said if it had not been for her video, the trial may never have happened. So that was a brave thing for her to do. She was a young girl, I think 17. She went to the store to take, I believe it was her cousin, for snacks. And there they were witnessing this absolutely horrific thing. I felt equally horrible for the EMT who desperately wanted to help. And they told her, no, if somebody is in distress, wouldn't we do it for an animal on the street in distress? Why would we not do it for a person in distress? I find it, I don't find any reason that makes it, was this a setup? Oh, are you talking about the situation? You mean for the cops? I don't think so. I don't think so. For me, it's just a really kind of hard thing to deal with. And you're right, David. It is one of those moments in time. I remember where I was the day that Kennedy was shot. I remember exactly how I felt at the moment that it happened. I remember where I was when Pope John was shot. And there were just those moments in time. And it's hard. It's really hard. But I certainly don't want to belabor that for the whole time here. Is there anything that you'd like to talk about before
Uh, no. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are things I would like to talk about. Actually, maybe we should go back to the beginning where you told everybody that this is your first time, sort of using this platform. Second time, yeah. So this is the internet, and you're going to love it because there's all kinds of things you can do with it. So it's now that you've discovered it, this is going to be big. Like Bill Gates, I think said it. It might have been 30 years ago, but he was on a talk show and he said the internet's going to be big. So you're going to love it. There's cool stuff. You can shop actually. Just saying.
I'm really good.
Is there anything that I want to talk about? Well, I'm half vaccinated now. How about that? I can talk about that.
Wow. I'm sorry. Before you start, I just looked at the comment. Do you know that Chauvin and Floyd worked together at a club? I did not know that. There is no question that excessive force was used. Yeah, I get what you're saying, that if he had followed instructions, but he was so terrified and he had claustrophobia and his terror, and they pointed a gun at him, so scared the heck out of him. He was high on something. So the reactions, yeah, I get it, but I still, excessive force was used. Okay, back to what you were saying, David.
Yeah. Things to talk about. I'm half vaccinated. Let's see. The kids are either back at school or on their way back to school. And that is good for them, and hopefully we're caring for our teachers and making sure that they are protected. And so the vaccine thing, hopefully we're on whatever other side of that curve there is. I actually went to the bank earlier and I said to the guy at the bank that I'm going to be really happy when the mask thing is gone, because something just feels wrong about walking into a bank with a mask on. Maybe it's me, but I don't know that I'm never going to get used to. So the mask thing will be nice for it to go away. We're almost there.
I remember when it first started, and my friend Ken was very much reluctant to wear a mask of any kind, but he had to do it because they wouldn't let him into places. And he said he had to go into the bank and he didn't have any regular masks yet. So he had a bandana that he tied across his face, and he said, I am going into a bank with a bandana on my face and I'm handing them a piece of paper. He said, somehow it's a very scary concept. So it really is true. And the things that we think of as normal now, I was thinking about the little kids. When I see little kids on the street wearing masks, for some of them, they think this is what life is like because they're that young that they probably have no recollection of a time before masks and all the things that we've had to do. I personally am grateful that I've had my both vaccinations at this point. And just today I heard on the news that they were saying that the Pfizer vaccine was 100% effective on kids from 12, I think it was 12 to 15.
Yeah,
and they said, in the trial that they only had, they had a couple who did not get the vaccine, who got COVID, and none of the people who got the vaccine got it. So that was really good to know. And I'm grateful for it. You have your next one in a couple of weeks, don't you?
I do. So either I'm going to be fully okay or fully not okay. I don't know which one it makes you. But I will tell you that it has been the past year. I mean, that I've had to travel around a lot, and so the past year has been exhausting mentally from just all the things that I've done. I've wiped every surface. I think hotels are really happy when I'm there because I leave the hotel room far cleaner than when I got there, because I go in with all my wipes and I clean everything. And so yeah, but between the masking and then there was double masking, at some point I was just waiting for them to come out with some sort of a suit that you like vacuum and it just sucks you into a thing. And but it's obviously great that we're on the other side of something.
Yes.
I'm curious to see when things will be whatever normal looks like again. But I don't know. I haven't shaken a hand in a year, so I don't know if that's ever going to happen again. But I'm glad we're where we are. What else is there to talk about? Heading back to LA.
I know. I think that's great. I really am happy for you. I always think of David was telling me when I asked him how he liked living in Oregon. His description of Oregon was, it's moist. And the picture of that somehow left a little bit to be desired. So he's going back to sunny California this week.
I am, although it is actually, I think Oregon is just messing with me because all of a sudden it turned sunny and 70. So, I don't know. There must be some sort of weird karma there or something. But yes, heading back to the traffic, heading back to the honking and the having to wait on lines for things and all of that. So I'm really excited.
I'm sure.
Yeah, but the beach will be nice. So
I'm sure the beach will be nice. You have a pool, so that will be nice.
Yes, all good things. All good things. So I just noticed. I was wondering what you were talking about with these comments. I just noticed the comments on the site. So if anybody has said anything to me, I apologize. I just thought you were making it up. I just thought you were like, it was a phase you were going through. We were just talking. So, yeah. I'm in Eugene too. Well, sort of. I'm in Springfield for the moment for like a few hours. But yeah, that's where I am.
David was showing me when he first moved there, he took a walk. And is that huge farm type thing, whatever it is, ranch? What is that you showed me with all the animals?
Yeah, just I'm in an area where there are animals. I mean, like I'm pretty sure I don't know buffalo or bison or I don't know. I really should know. There's one of them that we have and one of them we don't have, and hopefully someone smarter than me is going to tell me that in a moment. But there's like buffalo down the block, and then there's horses and there's sheep and there are a few animals that I don't even know what they are. But yeah, it's like right here, so it's kind of neat and cool, and so not Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Uh,
What are you saying, Madeline? Are you saying that Eugene and Springfield are different than each other or different than the rest of the world? Testing the vaccine.
let's see. Eugene and Springfield are different worlds. I,
Thanks,
I
Bob.
I would imagine if you're from either of them, that's probably true. I don't know. I know that I have to get in the car from Springfield if I want to go get like Five Guys or something. I have to go to Eugene, so I do know those are two different worlds. Um,
Is Five Guys a hamburger place?
yes, oh, that's right. I'm speaking West Coast, maybe not East Coast. Is there? I can't remember. Is there Five Guys back there?
Uh, I think there might be. I think right near the bagel place,
Yeah.
it might be a Five Guys. It's
It's
Five Guys or a Three Guys or a Four Brothers or whatever the heck it is.
I'm pretty sure that's always five, but
Yeah.
it's sort of like when you head. It's like you sort of head across the country and things change, and all of a sudden nobody understands when you say White Castle. And so I guess I didn't know Five Guys. I haven't been able to find a freaking Entenmann's cake to save my life.
Oh,
So
I have to tell you, David, I bought the other day, I was in Stop and Shop and I just wanted some kind of goodies, which is nothing unusual. And I came across Grandma's coffee cake, and it looked a lot like my sour cream coffee cake. And I said, "Oh God," I said, "David would love this. I really have to make one of those for you. One of
yeah, you
those and send it
should.
to you."
You should make those and sell those. When you said you came across grandma's coffee cake, I thought you meant literally your grandmother's coffee cake, and thinking you should not eat that. But yeah, everyone, you should make your coffee cake and you should sell it. You could create a website just selling your coffee cake, and that would be cool because I have yet to have anything that tastes as good as that coffee cake in terms of dessert. So
Well, then maybe what I should do is have you add it onto your stuff since you already sell stuff like that.
yes,
Of
maybe you
course,
should.
it would be one occasional cake if I if I were doing it.
Right. So for every
Well,
35,000 batches of
Carol, I'm
cookies,
so glad you came by. Take care. Yeah.
I and Five Guys is in Birmingham. I was just in Birmingham actually. And Five Guys originated in DC. I think you're right. Five Guys are everywhere now. That's good to know because that's sort of my go-to hamburger. And for those of you that haven't had Five Guys, it's insanely good. And what else? What else? What else? I think we're caught up.
I like Bobby Flay's. I really love Bobby's burgers. They are so good. They
Yeah.
really are. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Well, although I have to say, I'm not extremely picky about burgers. Five Guys to me is an outstanding burger, but with all the traveling that I've had to do, I've had to lower the bar a little bit in terms of of what I accept as quality food because I often find myself in the middle of nowhere. Although I do stumble upon things sometimes that are really you know crazy good and fun and different, but for the most part, I find that when I'm in the middle of the country, I have to use McDonald's to make sure that I can get something that at least I know what I'm getting. you know. And we don't have to get into what I'm getting, but at least I know what I'm getting.
Yeah, David's been doing an awful lot of driving. How much mileage do you have on your car?
70,000, which has come in the past 18 months, I guess.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So that's why every time I go back for a car and they talk to me about leasing, I say, I don't think so. Yeah.
Right, you could never do that.
I need a lease that has 40,000 miles a year on it. So,
Yeah, that would definitely not work.
so.
Nothing beats a good burger. I'm with you, Rita. Absolutely. I love that stuff. Wanted to talk to you.
Nothing beats good pizza, I have to say. That's the kid. It's still the biggest thing leaving New York. It's like so impossible to find good pizza. And don't get me wrong, there are a lot of places you can get pizza that's, good for the area, but I am definitely a New York pizza snob, and finding New York pizza has been like impossible. I found 3 places in Los Angeles. I found 0 places in the entire state of Oregon. And don't get me wrong, I love Oregon. It's been nice, but I can't find New York pizza.
Didn't you have pretty decent pizza? I thought I remembered somebody telling me when you were in Scottsdale.
Don't get me wrong, every town's got its good pizza, and certainly if anybody here is from Chicago, don't even start with me. And I know the deep dish, and I get it, Luminaldi's, and you're a Geno's person, and everybody's got their thing. So which are all awesome, by the way. So much so that I actually have if you go in the freezer right now, I actually have a frozen Luminaldi's pizza in there. So if you're a Chicago person, much respect. But anyway, every place has got its own good pizza. And yes, Scottsdale, there is a place in North Scottsdale. You know what? I can't remember the name of it because the kids gave it a weird name when we got there, and they call it Monkey Butt. Oh, I know why. Because next door there was a place that was selling. It was like Monkey Butt hand lotion or something. I don't know, some weird name, and so it stuck. And now the pizza place, I only know it as Monkey Butt, but. If you had one of the kids on, they would tell you it's on the corner of North Scottsdale Road and I think Pinnacle Peak. So if any of you know Scottsdale, now you can go find it, and it's really not called Monkey Butt. But yeah, every place has got one. In Los Angeles, I found 3. So if anybody's going to LA and you want a pizza thing, you reach out and let me know.
Barbara, did you move to Wisconsin or that area? Or are you still in Arizona? I seem to remember not too long ago you were considering making a move. Actually, getting back to the pizza for just a minute, there's a place near here where they make sesame crust pizza, and that's really good. That's a little bit different, but it's delicious.
And some of the comments. So first of all, regarding size pizza on campus, there is like a general rule, in my opinion, and that is on every campus in the United States, there is one insanely good pizza place. And it's usually run by someone who went to the school and just never left. And it's been handed down from generation to generation. And it's great pizza. And it's especially great pizza because it's open at 2:00 in the morning when you're looking for pizza. And so, yes, I agree. The pizza crust in New York, yes, it's ironic because the water in New York, it used to be terrible, but the pizza is good and the bagels are good. And so I guess that helps. Lived in LA for 33 years. No Brent's Deli yet. Well, the deli thing, that's a whole other issue. Although I will say that in Los Angeles, Nate and Al's in Beverly Hills and Froman's Deli in Santa Monica both score very high on my list. Am I caught up yet?
Lauren, I have not sold yet. I am still working on the house. And I needed to wait to get something accomplished before I could make the move. But yeah.
There's somebody else that's telling you to move besides me.
Yeah, no, it's definitely time. I'm quite psychologically ready to make a move at this point. I am tired of all the external work that needs to be done in addition to taking care of the inside of the house. Gets to be too much. So it's definitely time. I think I could be happy, I think, living in a condo kind of environment where I have my own separate place, but they take care of the maintenance and all the other stuff. So I don't have to deal with it. I don't have to worry about snow removal. I don't have to worry about a gardener, which reminds me I have to get one because the one from last year moved, so I have nobody. And if I don't get a gardener soon, I'm going to have to get a goat. So what is it? Moving is definitely overwhelming. I'm 100% with you on that. David, I wanted to talk to you about, I don't know if you've seen anything. Well, you don't get on Facebook, but Neil is my nephew, my brother Marty's son. Neil had put out something on Facebook today wishing his parents a happy golden anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah, they are married 50 years. It's quite an incredible feat. And they have a great marriage, a great life. And he just said the most wonderful thing. I think he said that he hit the parent jackpot. And you never said anything like that.
Hmm. I've said other things though.
This is true. This is true.
And actually, technically, that's not true because I think if you look on my Instagram, I think there's a picture of us when I was a baby, and it was I think for Mother's Day last year, and I think I said something nice. I mean, don't hold me to it, but I'm pretty sure I said something nice.
Okay, I'm going to have to go look for it then. Let's see. Yeah, I've been working really hard on that, Lauren. And I'm going to do more videos about my selling online because I have learned so much in the time that I'm doing it. When you and I first talked about it, it was a question of just doing it, getting rid of some of my stuff, and then being able to do it and try to make a little extra money. But unfortunately, I needed to make money because I needed to reinvent myself after my surgery. And all of the things that I could not do, I still had to pay the bills. So failure was not an option. So I really needed to figure it out. I am a long way from home. I'm a long way from making any kind of livable income on it, but I'm headed in the right direction. And I feel as if I've learned a lot along the way, and I would love to share that with other people because maybe there are other people who want to do it for whatever reason, maybe to make a little extra money, maybe to declutter their homes, maybe to just have a fun project. I found along the way that I had a real passion for it. And I, who had never stepped into a thrift store in my life, love thrifting now. There is nothing more exciting to me than walking into, David, I showed you when I went to that estate sale and I walked in and I found that Yankees 1961 jacket from the World Series. I didn't know what I had, but I knew I had something really good there. It just felt right. So I'm starting to get that pit of my stomach feeling when it comes to things, and it's good. So I'm going to be sharing a whole lot of that in upcoming videos with the group. So yeah, I want to do that. Um, so anyway, David, when I was talking to you about the thing with Marty and Lorraine, oops, I got that's the Weather Channel. I thought I got a motivation. Oh, I get the most incredible motivational things every day, several times a day. I share them sometimes, but they are so deeply personal to me often. The one I got just a little while ago was don't try to force anything. Let life be a deep let go. God opens millions of flowers every day without forcing their bulbs. So it's something good for me to remember. Anyway, David, when I had a nice long talk with Marty the other day, and it was real. I love those talks. I love those talks with the family, and I recommend it to all of you, not whether it be family or old friends or anybody who shares a history with you, because what I found was that when I was talking about some experiences from our childhood, Marty remembered certain things that I didn't remember, and I remembered things that he didn't remember. But when we put all the pieces together, it really created a fuller picture. And it was something I was really grateful for. And I was thinking about that because it kind of took me, we were talking about memories of some, sometimes the smallest memory from your past can create a huge impediment in your life. It can create an issue where you really suffer from something and you don't know why. Let me give you a little, uh, a little evidence of that. I may have shared this before, and if I have, just tune me out for a minute or two. But when I was a very little girl, my Aunt Yetta was taking care of me. She took care of me quite often. My mother worked a lot, and her sister would watch me. I couldn't have been more than 3 years old, and they lived in a semi-attached house. So there was the one half, then we were the other half, and then across the alley was another two-family house. Not two-family, it was four-family, but it was two sides. And one day my aunt was sitting in the kitchen talking to the woman across the alley. And I can't remember her name. I wish I could. But she held me between her legs. She was shaking. And she told this woman that a man was coming up the stairs to kill us. So she was shaking. So I was shaking by virtue of the fact that she was simply, biologically, I mean, it just happened. But it became such a huge thing in my life, and I didn't recognize it as that. But for about 35 years, I would say, I had recurring dreams. I dreamt always that somebody, and it was always in that house, that somebody was coming to kill me. And in my dreams, very often, instead of me having a solid door to the apartment in the house, it was a Dutch door. So if I managed to keep this person out of the bottom half, he would get in the top, or vice versa. And I remember one time in my dream flying out the window. We were on the second floor because I had to get away from him. And it was so emotionally charged and it was so frightening that I suffered that dream for, as I say, easily 35 years. All of a sudden, one day, I made the connection. And I said, oh my God, that's what the dream is about. The minute I made the connection to the dream, I never had the dream again. It was as if it served its purpose and I no longer had to deal with it. So it's just an interesting bit of trivia about the past. Yeah.
A, that was interesting. B, you got everybody to stop commenting. So nice work. And C, if you ever tell that story to the kids or to any generation beyond mine, you need to adjust a few things. First of all, Dutch door, nobody's going to know what you're talking about. The only reason I do is because I watched Mr. Ed. So that's that. And it was interesting because at first, when you started telling the story, I was pretty certain that you were actually telling me the beginning of West Side Story. I thought at any moment there were going to be sharks and jets and the alleyway and someone was coming up the stairs. So anyway, but yeah, I guess it's interesting since I am an only child, your fault, not mine. So I guess whatever perspective I have of childhood is going to have to be perfect for me for the rest of my life because I have nobody else to add pieces to it. But I will tell you, I have a very clear perspective of my childhood, and as flawed as it and my memory might be, it was a happy time despite its little moments of weird and scary things, and but overall it was a nice and happy time. And I really wish, I can't believe nobody's created this yet, and I just don't have time. I'm gonna put up a website of like ideas that people should steal, but I can't believe that nobody's created an app that basically allows you to sort of store your memories, and for your family and for your friends, and you all sort of share them or whatever. And I don't mean something like Facebook that's all over the place. I mean something that specifically is a way for you to just get on there, record little snippets of your a memory in your life, and then to just find the timeline, put it on that timeline, and sort of reconstruct your life for your kids, for your grandkids, for whatever. And they may not care about all of it, but I may have questions about your life, or grandma and grandpa, or anyone else in the family, and I am missing a lot of pieces. And unfortunately, a lot of the stuff that makes up someone's life, they take with them. And so I can't believe there's not a thing that allows you to sort of put all that together and to keep it. It should be called like my life on a timeline, or in a box or something like that.
Well, my life.
And anybody who's out there, and if you're practicing app coding or something, and that's where you're going, please feel free to steal that idea.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Are there any specific memories that you have that you think were pivotal in any way in your life?
Yes, we were telling the kids the other day that what was it? They did something that was, just kid-like, and sort of a little thoughtless, and whatever. And it's funny, I was telling them that I remember doing something like that when I was a kid, and the next thing I remember was Uncle Al chasing me around the house with a broom, which I think these days is probably frowned upon. Times have changed, but you only did the wrong thing once when I was growing up. It was like, I don't know, but I remember a lot of things. I remember going to, you were talking about, Marty and Lorraine. I remember going to their house for holidays, especially Thanksgiving, where for some bizarre reason, Grandma made the turkey in Queens, in her place, and then we took it in the car, fresh, hot turkey in the car, and drove it into Manhattan to Marty's and Lorraine's, and that's where we ate. So, everyone's got their own bizarre, sort of little nuances of their life and that you remember. I remember my first bee sting climbing in the park in the backyard, in the between the buildings. Just I remember it all. I laugh when the kids like have challenges getting to school on time, whatever it was, and like, high school was like a 20-block walk, and I think it was 30 coming home. It was just, so I have a million memories that, that we should talk about when we're not making these poor people listen. Yeah, but yes, plenty of memories. Going to see Steve in Bloomington, or actually even Chicago, if you want to go back further. I remember going back in the 70s, going to Florida. I remember staying at the Deauville Hotel, which, had the biggest pool I had ever seen in my life. And that was, I guess, back in the, was it late 70s or something like that? Probably the last time you've been on a plane. Yeah, you should have people ask you about that. So anyway, yeah, so I have plenty of memories that nobody cares about except for you. I keep telling the kids stuff, I remember this and I remember that. It's funny. I think I mentioned this to you. So I was on the phone with Ronnie the other day, and we were laughing that our favorite commercials, because now we actually like the commercials more than the shows sometimes. But our favorite commercial is the insurance commercial where the guy is teaching people how to not become their parents. And I just think I like laugh out loud at those commercials, because I guess they know what they're talking about, because suddenly when I sit in a chair, I suddenly make noise as I'm sitting, and I never used to do that. And that's, just bizarre. And so, yeah, I've become you, sort of.
And what have I become?
So, a woman who's looking for a goat to do her lawn, is what you've become. Yeah, actually, I don't know. It's funny. I try to tell Rachel every once in a while. She asks, about you and what you're doing and whatever. And, you're somewhat indescribable, in a good way, I think. Um, so, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Somebody give us something more interesting to talk about. I'm backed up on things. Wow, lots of comments. Um, yeah, the food channel. Is this the food channel? Actually, that would be good if it was the food channel. I wouldn't mind talking about food for an hour. Uh, I just kissed a girl named Maria. Okay, good. Somebody else knew what I was talking about, thankfully. Uh, and let's see. Stocking up on pot or
Oh,
legal?
yes, Sandy, it has become legal. I understand it's going to take a little while till it gets here, but it has become legal. It's funny, when I was going through my radiation, um, my friend Linda was constantly saying to me, why don't you get some medical marijuana? You can get it. I used to say to her, because Linda, you're the one who wants it, not me. I have no interest. So it is what it is. But yeah.
The comment about downloading, the government's going to download my entire knowledge and memory base. For whoever that government worker is who has to deal with downloading this, I apologize. I wish it was more interesting. Any elastic parts for pants? Oh, pants. That makes more sense because pole dancing makes a good buck. I would imagine it does.
By the way, if you see my camera moving, Bailey is trying to dig himself something or other right at the edge of the tripod. So it's moving and it's driving me crazy and I can't seem to stop him. So my apologies if it looks like things are a little bit off base. Hi, Barb. How are you?
Hi, I almost miss you, handsome son. Hi, compliments are accepted. Feel free, poor mom. Because I'm alone in, Springfield and nobody's complimenting me. So.
Yeah, all by your lonesome. Are you going to take loads of pictures so that you'll remember the place?
I have loads of pictures actually. It's really pretty, but I have, excuse me, I have pictures in my mind, which I think actually always come out better than the ones that I take. And but yeah, I take. I mean, with all the traveling I do a lot of snapshots with my eyes. So I've stored roads from I'm up to 40. I'm up to 45 states now that I've been to.
Which ones have you not been to? I know you haven't been to Hawaii or Alaska.
I haven't been to Hawaii or Alaska, really just because, well, first of all, I haven't been to Alaska just because I'm lazy and I don't think I have the clothing for it. I haven't been to Hawaii because I drive everywhere. And
that would be a tough.
Thinking that, yeah, I think that would be problematic. And even I like to drive. I like to drive once I get there, and so on Hawaii, I'd have to just drive around in circles. So I haven't been there. I have not been to North Dakota. I have not been to. I've been to North Dakota, Montana, and I have not been to Maine. And I have not been to, that was Alaska, Hawaii, Maine, North Dakota. That was it. I think those were my 5. If I just said 5. So.
And your kids have been to most of them.
They have been. I have schlepped them pretty much everywhere. So they have. And I quiz them on it every once in a while. I ask them, in what state was, the covered bridges, and in what state was the world's biggest basket building, and things like that. And but all they remember is the food, which I guess is okay. They're like, you remember that rib place where we sat on the sidewalk and we ate ribs and we got it all over the place, and and mom spilled grape soda in the car. And so you see, those are the memories. Those are the little things that that they remember. And then now they have each other. I didn't have that, so now one of them can tell the other one it wasn't grape soda, it was strawberry. You're an idiot, and so I guess they can help like you and your brothers do. Ohio has the biggest basket building. I've been there. I have a picture in front of it. Actually, I'm not really sure how many places claim to have the biggest basket building, but I did that. I went there, and it actually is a building, a real building that looks like a real basket. It's kind of insane.
Oh, I was wondering what a basket building was.
No. Look it up. It's a thing, and I can send you pictures of when we were there. It's a basket building. I think they either did or do make baskets. I don't think it was a random choice. I think baskets had something to do with it. And that's what we should do. We should have everybody come on, and we should do trivia of like road trip trivia for those people that are into that. But the covered bridge is probably not that hard to figure out if you've seen the movie that features covered bridges. Anybody? What movie?
Covered bridges?
Yes, the bridges of.
Oh, Madison County.
There you go. And so, where's on my list I haven't been to that I was excited to go to, but then COVID happened and the world changed. The Real Field of Dreams Field, which is in the middle of Iowa. I have not been there, and I really wanted to go there just to go there. And then they were actually going to hold, believe it or not, they were going to have a real baseball game there with the New York Yankees as one of the teams. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is like a dream come true. And so I was excited.
I'm glad you made it.
So yeah, Iowa, good, correct. I love trivia. Bridges in Madison County, correct. Let's see, Bridges in Madison County. I'm filming that. Good.
Yeah,
I can talk about movies that I've worked on, and you can talk about actors that you've dated.
Yeah, there you go.
So.
That's true. David has worked on a number of movies, and he's had some really interesting experiences with all of that. Is there anything that you want to share?
Let's see. I parked my car in the wrong place on Rocky 5 in Philadelphia on that strip where Mickey's gym, the original gym, is, and there's a fight scene in Rocky 5 that takes place out in the street, almost kind of like a brawl. And I parked my, it was the black Honda Accord. I parked that in the wrong place down the block, and I think you can actually see it in one of the shots and see my little thing on the windshield that says, parking. And the only reason that you might notice it is just, I think from a time standpoint, it might have been out of sync with when it was supposed to happen or whatever. I don't know if that was interesting, actually.
That's funny. So, what else?
So yeah, that was that. What else? Let's see. I worked on one of the Home Alone movies, and Macaulay Culkin was not at all weird. And so sorry to blow that for everybody. What else? Let's see. I worked on the Woody Allen "Everyone Says I Love You" movie. I'm really showing my age now. And what was cool?
No, you're really showing my age now.
Yeah. No, I'm sure you show that other ways. So that was kind of cool because I forgot which major birthday, but Goldie Hawn actually celebrated one of her birthdays. I don't know, she's like Benjamin Button. She keeps getting younger, so I don't remember what birthday it was. It was like 40 or 50 or whatever. But that was kind of cool. And I was a studio teacher on the set. I used to teach kids their school subjects, and I technically had to hang out all day, even though I was only working for 3 hours. So I ended up doing a lot of silly things like bringing Drew Barrymore eggs. So yeah, and I think we veered off of anything that represents any topic that anybody cares about at this point. So
I think it might be fun for people to hear about.
So what else?
I have heard by the ladies many times. People tell me that David reminds them of George Clooney.
It's funny. I think George Clooney gets that about me all the time, also. So he's actually contacted me and asked me if I could do something about my hair so that there wouldn't be so much confusion. Um, so.
Oh, hi, Irene. How are you? Did you meet Trump when he did the cameo in Home Alone?
I did not meet Donald Trump. However, I was around the corner, so I had business in New York the night that I guess he was elected. I think he was around the corner, like at the Sheraton or something. I don't remember. I was like around the corner from where he was that night. It was election night in whatever year that was, and I was there for business. And so I remember, now in hindsight, I remember just the sort of the general surprise. People contact me, they call me, oh my goodness, he won! I can't believe he won, and blah blah blah. And the only reason I mention that part of the story is because that I had, and please don't take this to be some sort of political commentary or anything like that, but I remember saying to some people, because the very first time he spoke in one of the convention settings with the other potential candidates, he hadn't even been selected as the Republican candidate yet. I remember saying that he was going to win, and the only reason I bring that up is because I was recently talking to Zach, my older son, and I was telling him that I have this weird claim to fame that I'm accumulating, and that is since 1980, I've chosen correctly the right president of the United States every single time. So I did. I didn't know. I didn't realize it either. And then as I was going backwards, because with the Trump thing, so many people were surprised that he won. And I had said even before he was chosen as the Republican candidate that he was going to win the election. And it wasn't because I was, for or against him. I just knew he was going to win. And so I was thinking
I think
about
you have the family gift. Go on.
I do, I guess. So I don't know. Maybe I should I think you could wager on this. So maybe the next time there's a presidential election, I will. And now I'm of course, going to get probably hate mail or something because I knew Trump was going to win. I knew Biden was going to win. I knew Reagan was going to win. Anyway, how did we get on this? Oh yeah, Trump, Home Alone. No, I didn't see him. Sorry. Long answer, short question. Now you'll all be careful about asking me a question because I'm likely to go off on a whole tangent, and then although, can I get a spinoff from this? Will I get my own
Yes, you can.
Thing? I already have a name for my show. I have a name for my show.
What's your name?
It's going to be called Crazy Talk. Crazy Talk with David Sonkin, and that's because I'm going to invite people on, so that way, instead of us all beating each other up about the crazy stuff that everybody says, we just say, you know what, we've been crazy for a long, long time. We just used to do it privately, yelling at the television, and now we have Twitter, and so everybody's crazy out in the open. But we've been crazy for a long time. We used to sit at the corner, Woolworths or something, at the counter drinking coffee and muttering under your breath at the newspaper, and that was the early version of being a dope on Twitter. So I'm going to have a show, and I'm going to invite people on to talk crazy so we can just get it out, be like cathartic or something.
I'm sure you would be hugely successful at it.
You can talk and talk. Is that me? Yeah, I guess I probably can. But if I don't, then this would probably be boring. Well, maybe not. Who's going to be president in 2024? Can I get back to you in 2022? Yeah, even though I will be honest with you, I secretly, I'm not going to say it yet, but I not only have my next pick, but I have my next two picks, believe it or not.
Wow.
So I'll tell you off air, just so that way you can hold me to it, or I'll write it down and I'll put it in a sealed envelope or something like that. But I actually already have my next two picks.
Wow.
Yeah. My first job was at Woolworths. That's crazy and cool, and I miss Woolworths. I really do. You know what I miss? I miss those little plastic white triangular cups, those white cups that they used to snap into that base. Do you remember those? They were these little conical cups. They snapped into the base, and they would give you your soda, which you didn't realize at the time. But first of all, it was full of crushed ice, and it was this little cone. So there was literally almost no soda in there. Just mathematically, there was almost no soda in there. But Woolworths was cool. I miss getting ice cream sitting at a counter. And that's why when I'm traveling, anytime I see something that represents like an old ice cream shop, I try to go there because it just reminds me of Woolworths.
I have to tell you, I have an early memory of Woolworths. I was trying to buy a gift for Grandma for Mother's Day. And of course, I was a little kid. I had very little money. And they had this perfume. I don't remember what the perfume was called. Some of you ladies who are old enough might remember, but I think it was in a heart-shaped bottle. It had a very sweet smell, and it had a blue cap. I remember that, and I bought it for her. Maybe it was 25 cents. Maybe it was less. I don't remember, but it really meant a lot. It really meant a lot.
I remember the banana boat, and you're right, they were silver, those bases. They were silver. I think I was thinking of the plastic ones that you used to sell people at those Tupperware parties that you had, which now it's like a line in a movie and kids don't get it, but you actually had Tupperware parties. Like that was a thing. It was like, and I remember all the stuff, and I remember, and we actually sometimes we got cool stuff out of it. That's where you got those like ice pop makers,
Yes,
They
that's
put
right.
the ice pops. See, these are the ridiculous memories that there's brain cells that I can't fill with, like I can't cure cancer or something because I have this stuck in my brain cells. It's taking up space.
Oh, that's really funny, Suze, that you did a variety show. When I was a little girl, I used to write plays and I used to perform them in the living room, and I used to drag my older brother into it to do the shows with me. Yeah, that's funny. Blue Waltz. Barbara, you're right. That's what it was. Oh my God. Son of a gun. Oh, yes. Incredible, incredible memories. What is this? Got to watch Married to a Stranger? What's that? Oh, for heaven's sakes. Wow. That takes me back. I can conjure up the scent. And speaking of that, by the way, just a little aside, I know that I made the discovery of perfume again a number of years ago after I had started my channel. And at one point, I think it was Natalie, the beauty diva, who had gotten me hooked on this Jean Paul Gaultier perfume that was really lovely. And then somebody else had done one, and it was, oh God, what is it called? I forgot the name of it. But there were other perfumes, and I one day decided to try a perfume I had never smelled, and that's a dangerous thing to do. But I bought it really for the bottle. I fell in love with the bottle. It's purple, bright purple with gold trim, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Thierry Mugler. It is called Alien. And when the perfume arrived, and the first time I spritzed it on my wrist, I said, "Oh my God, I hate this. I really do." But when it dried down, I absolutely loved the smell of the dry down. It was great. And I went to one of those tag sales a couple of weeks ago, and this woman had a bottle of that perfume. And I said, "How much is this?" She said, $1. I took it, and the minute I spritzed it again, it just really took me back. I absolutely love it. It's a great, great scent. So if any of you haven't tried it, of course, it depends upon your chemistry, but yeah, it's good. Wow. Yeah, interesting. So did I stop you dead, David?
No, no, no. I actually was just noticing the timer on the top. I don't know if that's for everybody, but I was thinking an hour and 4 minutes. We're going over like the Emmys or something.
Oh,
We're like, um, so
you should present some awards.
you know.
So do you think it's time for us to wind down and
So
then pick it up again? David and I are thinking of doing this as a regular thing. He may or may not know it, but I think we were considering doing this maybe once a month or maybe twice a month to kind of just talk about things that come up and see if people like it enough. I think we'll plan to do it. If not, David will go it alone, and I'm
yes,
sure he'll be really successful.
just going to be just me and crazy talk.
I just really love it. Yes, and crazy talk is perfect. And I'm sure we'll come up with things to talk about. And if you ladies have anything in particular that you want us to talk about, just tell us. David's going to be crazy busy for the next couple of weeks, I'm thinking. And the next time we will be filming this, he will be back in his beautiful apartment in LA. And yeah,
In Glen Cove, my childhood home was Princess
what
Magic.
is it?
Glen Cove. Filmed a movie there.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, David did. You that which one was that? Oh, that was the empath.
Oh, actually, I filmed two movies there. It was Empath and White George.
Oh, okay.
The trailer just hit 6 million views, by the way. As
That's
ridiculous as that
amazing.
sounds.
That really is amazing. Uh,
Yeah, they should have charged a nickel for every view.
yeah, I wanna put a link to that because that really is incredible that there was so many views of that trailer.
Yes, there were. And funny thing is that 10 years later, it's still relevant if the producer ever decides to release it, the film. But the trailer is good. The trailer is worth watching. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do it. And I've had a lot of fun with this. I hope you all have. And yeah, we definitely have to do it again. So David's going to get his act together. He's moved so much that I'm sure everything will be organized and perfect within a week. But
How are the cookies selling? Sorry to interrupt. I was trying to answer a question.
oh, how are the cookies selling? Barb wants to know.
The cookies are selling great. Actually, some places selling ridiculous. Some places are sold out already. We're completely sold out, I think, in almost all of Texas. Interestingly enough, for those of you, if anybody else, is anybody else on Long Island with you? Medford, Long Island is actually just about sold out.
Oh, wow.
Most of the Missouri locations are almost sold out. And we're actually, again, almost sold out online. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Just, you know, Rachel makes a really good cookie that people love, and so yeah, we're trying to restock as quickly as we can. But yes, the cookies are going great. Thank you for asking. I want some. How do you get
Suze
them?
wants to know if you can appear on her channel as a mystery man. She's got the most wonderful channel. She really does. She's a wonderful, wonderful filmmaker. She is she does music and sings, and I mean but she's an incredible filmmaker, and she's got this wonderful little dog called Desi. And yeah, my
So
God.
I'm even though I have no idea what we're talking about, I'm going to just go ahead and say yes because you really should take advantage of opportunities when they come to you. So I'm going to say yes, and I guess find out how to contact me and all that good stuff. I find a good trailer. I love a good trailer. The movie is called White George. Cookie babies for everyone. I couldn't agree more. So, and should I do a plug for them? Cookiebabies.com.
Yes, go ahead.
So yeah. So if you don't have a Sam's Club near you, or someplace else you can get them, then yes, just cookiebabies.com. Feel free to go do that. And right now, I think there's only chocolate chip on there, but eventually there'll be snickerdoodle and peanut butter and over the rainbow and all that good stuff.
No, I did not, Lauren, and feel free to tell him.
You stole my name. Which name is that? My name's David. What name did I steal? Oh, Cookie Babe. Got it. In 2001. Well, well, good news for you though. It is Cookie Babies. And the longer version of it is Jackie's Cookie Babies. And yeah, it actually, believe it or not, those cookies date all the way back to 1979. And for those of you that either are from New York City or Baltimore or DC, you may have actually bought their predecessor, which was Jackie's Cookie Connection, back in the 70s and 80s. So yes, so they've had a long history, but Cookie Babies is the full name. So your Cookie Babe is somewhat still protected. And hey, if somebody accidentally mistypes us and gets you, well, feel free to take the extra traffic. Sam's Club sells the cookies. Yes, they do. If you look on the website, there's a list of about 275 Sam's Clubs around the country that sell them. 1979 was a good year. It actually was. It was well, for me, it was sixth grade, and I was pretending to be Danny Zuko, wearing a leather jacket, even if it was 80 degrees out.
I remember you jumping off the railing. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do actually. I do. I did. I well, sang plenty of things. But yes. Yes, Cookie Baby, Sam's Club. You're a member. That's awesome. You should go and get some, but you should call them first, because I have people that write in every day and tell me that they're out of stock, and then they're upset, and so you have to order them on the website, at least as long as they're probably about to go out of stock any day now also. So I apologize. We're making them as fast as we can.
By the way, just an aside for everybody, many of you know that David and Rachel went through a really tough time with the business when they were having growing pains, and they had done some things in a way that they, in retrospect, certainly would have done differently. But it is a testament to how you can, if you get hit, or if you have a really tough time, you can climb back up, and you can really get right back up there and do as well as you did before, and much, much better. So it's all good news, and it really is great, because we all have times in our lives when things are looking really bad, and it looks like nothing's ever going to be the same again or good again. Just keep the faith, because it happens. It happens all the time, and they're doing great. I'm so happy for them, and it's all good. It's really all good.
Stick with it.
Exactly.
Believe.
Okay. On that note, you want to say we're going to call it a night for now, and what is it? It doesn't matter how many times you fall down. You are absolutely right, Lauren. That's right. Rocky did say that. It's how many times you get up.
Yeah, there you go. That was actually a recent Instagram post on the Cookie Babies Instagram. So yes, I agree with you. Do you need to do some sort of like ending thing, like Carol Burnett had the ear thing, and do you need?
What should I do? What would you?
I don't know. You should think about it, but you should have
Well,
what
why don't
say,
you do something unique?
Have some sort of a song. So glad we had this time together.
Oh
Just
yeah.
laugh or sing a song. How scary is it that I actually know this? How scary is that? It's they actually
Yes.
they were referencing this on the recent Emmy Awards. So we should talk about the Emmys next time. That was actually a good show. We should talk about shows and what's going on in the land of streaming things, and everybody should talk about their favorite shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yep.
So glad we had this time together. Yes. The Beatles, and in the end, yes. Good. What else?
Actually, maybe Susan can write us a song.
So yeah, we'll take a theme song. We had to do generic music on our recent Cookie Babies versus Real Babies thing. So
did that come out yet?
It's on Instagram and it's on Facebook, and
maybe I can put a link to it here. It's really cute.
So yeah, okay, we really should let these people go. The fact that they're here to begin with is still extraordinary to me. So thank you for listening. If there was anything interesting, I'm really glad, and for the rest of it, I apologize.
Yes, we will be back soon. And I'm going to be doing my regular stuff starting, well, right away, because I want to do the stuff on just the everyday things that are
Yeah.
going on.
By the way, whoever said that, for those of you that said you're going to Sam's Club, take pictures of you and your cookie babies, and they'll end up on the Instagram page.
Oh yeah, I could do it also, Suze. I've always said that you and I could be great friends. I really would love to go out and play, and you'd love to have David join because he's got, as you can see, a great sense of humor and can talk about anything. So, okay. On that
Great.
note, we will let you go. If I can figure out how to end this, do I know? Oh, yes, there was a little thing there that says end. I guess I'll press that. Take
Bye,
care,
everybody.
everybody.
Thank
It
you.
was great seeing you. Thank you, David, for joining me.
Now I can pack my webcam in the car and get on the road.
As soon as you land and you're able to do it again, we'll have to schedule another one of these.
Will
Okay.
do.
My love to you all. Thanks so much for coming and take care. Love you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.